Presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, says the party decide who will occupy the office of President of Nigeria in 2027 ultimately rests with the Nigerian people and not the Tinubu administration. Atiku made this remark on Monday in response to the statement by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, urging Northerners interested in the presidency to wait until 2031. The former vice president, while speaking through his media advisor, Paul Ibe, says by 2027, the southern Nigeria would have had 17 years of leadership in the Fourth Republic. Parts of the statement reads, "Where then does true equity and fairness reside? By the year 2027, the South will have enjoyed 17 years of leadership, 8 years under Obasanjo, 5 years under Jonathan, and 4 years under Tinubu, while the North will have experienced only 11 years, with Yar'Adua serving 3 and Buhari 8. All right, Rufai, equity, fairness, determination of who becomes president, following the 2027 elections in contest this morning.
The fact that we're talking about this based on regional or tribal grounds and not about productivity and effectiveness of the leader speaks volumes of how our fortunes are dwindling as a nation. So it is very sad. But if Mr. Paul Ibe wants to talk about fairness and equity, he said, since we returned to democracy, the North has had 11 years. The South has had 17 years.
South, at the end of 2027, yeah.
At the end of 2027, 17 years.
Yeah.
What of the Southeast? How many years have the Southeast had? I think that's the real topical issue of fairness here. This they also debunked part of the things Paul Ibe did say by saying that when you look at it, pre-1999, the North had 37 years. Be it military leaders and all of that. They had more years than any part of the country. But in all of this, how many years has the Southeast had? So when you want to talk about real fairness, based on tribal grounds and everything, what of the fairness that should be meted out to the Southeast? Moving forward, I think my submission this morning will be about, it is time Nigeria starts to talk about effective leaders. This North-South, where you are from dichotomy, has failed us as a people. What have the leaders done? With all the potential of Nigeria, we cannot still achieve anything. We still have problems in our economy. We have problems as regards the human rights of people and justice in the country. We have unfairness being meted across board. And I think the problem is not about the regions. It's about the elite political class. Be it North, South, West, they are all one. When they are in power, they all benefit from each other. It is never about the people. They are the ones that get richer at the expense of the poor, suffering Nigerians. Anywhere they are from, their government has never benefited the people. But what Nigerians need is a leader that truly benefits the people, a champion of the people. And Nigeria has not had those champions, too many of those champions in history. Probably one or two of them. In fact, those one or two of them, you can argue otherwise. Until Nigeria has a true leader that is a champion of the people, we will not move forward. Every part, I repeat, can talk about unfairness. But we cannot move forward unless we have leaders that truly will cater to the people and care for the people. And that's why your life as a Nigerian keeps getting worse off, despite who you vote for. That's why poverty and unemployment continues. Let's think of the leader that will really face the people. We don't have leaders.
All right, Dr. Bati.
Okay, I'm not surprised that the Ghana election is causing ripples in Nigeria. After all, it used to be received wisdom that developments in Ghana tend to also ricochet in Nigerian politics. Now, George Akume, let's start with him, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, going on television to say that, oh, the North should wait till 2031. What is he suggesting? Well, let's look at it as intelligent people. is he by any means whatsoever suggesting that President Tinubu will be in power till 2031? Because to the best of my knowledge, a president in Nigeria is entitled to 2 terms. So this tenure ends in 2027. Does he have a candidate in mind? Or is there an arrangement that a candidate will come from the south that will take the relay baton to 2031? That's the conundrum there, the Gordian knot there, that George Akume himself should untie. That's number one. Number two, I'm not surprised that the PDP reacted very sharply. Now, 2 responses, 3 in fact. One from Debo Olugunagba, who is the spokesperson of the party, Atiku Abubakar himself, speaking through Paul Ibe, his media advisor. Now, but there was a point made by Debo Olugunagba that I think should be strictly underlined. And it is this point about saying that, in fact, it should be the verdict of the people that should matter. This whole arrangement whereby, a region of the country in Nigeria thinks we are entitled to power and we will determine when we are entitled to power. No, it's part of the major problems with democracy in Nigeria. Debo Olugunagba says the verdict of the people should prevail. Whether it's in 2027 or it's in 2031, the Nigerian people should be the one who should go to the polls to decide, as we have seen in Ghana. And as Babumia, the major political opposition candidate, confirmed, he said the people have voted for change. Now, one of the problems with Nigerian politicians is that everyone has a sense of entitlement at a regional level. People trapped, otherwise educated, but unintelligent, trapped in their primordial conclaves, saying that it is the turn of my tribe, it is the turn of my ethnic group, it is my ethnic group. The ethnicization, of Nigerian politics is one of the problems that we have. And it's one of the lessons, since the Ghanaian election is a reference here, that we need to learn from the people of Ghana. We like to say we're a big country, over 200 million people. But we see better collective intelligence, not mass psychosis, such as we have in Nigeria. Mass psychosis. There's something called that in psychiatry that we have in Nigeria. And I think that too many people in Nigeria have put themselves into it under all kinds of categorical labels. Now, what is the main issue here? The main issue here is that whether it's in 2027 or in 2031, it should be the Nigerian people that should decide. We're told that Atiku Abubakar says, southern Nigeria spent 17 years. The North has only spent 11 years. Look, Nigerian democracy should not be dished a la carte. It should not be dished in terms of, reasons of entitlement. It should be dished out on the basis of meritocracy. We don't care. If the most intelligent man, the most capable man, the most industrious person who can move this country forward comes from Ijagam or from any of these, smaller minorities within the over 250, minorities that make up Nigeria, it doesn't matter. Yeah. What should matter is that person that will come to power and make a difference. Now, no ethnic group has a DNA for excellence. As we have seen in the examples of the people who are excelling internationally, who are representing Nigeria internationally, it is not the fact that only one group in Nigeria or 2-3 groups, even in Section 59 of the 1999 Constitution, this is something that we need to look at. We say that only 3 major languages can be spoken in the National Assembly of Nigeria. But how about the other nationalities that are in this country? This is a country of nationalities. It's not about North and South, Hausa, Fulani, Yoruba, and Igbo. And I think that the minorities should wake up, even beyond the Willings Commission, which tried to address the minority question. This country belongs to all of us. It doesn't belong to people who think that they have a sense of entitlement. If Waziri Adamawa wants power, let him run in 2027. But let the people decide. That's one lesson that just came out of Accra, Ghana.
Let the people decide. I think it's quite a shame and quite disgraceful that in 2024, the basis of our democracy or electoral process is on the platform or on the foundation of ethnicity and what tribe you're from. There's no way democracy is going to move forward or going to have a thriving democracy as long as we think in this way. And best believe that politicians, the political elite, use this narrative to suit their own selfish intentions. It's only when it's convenient that the ethnic card comes to play and it's waived as an option or a reason why you should go with one candidate or why it's time for one person or one tribe's turn to be in power. It's only in Nigeria as a democracy, or at least in some countries like Nigeria, where a man would ride on the wave of "it is my turn" as a basis for why people should vote for him. It beggars belief, especially when you're interacting with intelligent people or it's almost an insult on intelligence of a number of people, whereby a number of people would rather than show working in terms of what they bring to the table and just use the ethnic card, and immediately, ultimately, a group of people who will not use the ethnic card to buy food in the market, who will not use the ethnic card to buy fuel at the filling station, vote or move massively in their favor, irrespective of whether or not the person has the competence to govern. That is the big problem. And I understand why. And let me put this forward. Perhaps the reason is because there's a lack of trust. What everyone believes is that if it's my person that's there, then he'll work in my favor. And we've seen that happen in justifying the distrust of people, whereby when someone gets into power, there's nepotism in the way that the appointments are made. And so people don't feel that they are well represented if their person is not in power. That is the genesis of the problem. So what we're looking for, and Rufai just echoes my thoughts exactly. Can we find a detribalized leader who wants the best for Nigeria and Nigerians, irrespective of what your ethnic background is? Just someone who sees not tribe, nor language, nor tongue, but just people who share a common heritage. That's what we're looking for, and that's what the people should look out for. And so let's elevate our political conversations. Let this talk of, oh, where I'm from is the turn of this person, let it come to an end. And guess what? The political elite are not the ones who are going to lead that charge. They're not going to lead that conversation. It's the people who should have the power to determine who their leaders are, that should be the ones who should think that so far, in the years of democracy we've enjoyed in Nigeria, how has this helped us as a people? The Ronus, they think of where you're coming from. How has it helped move our democracy forward? Your guess is as good as mine. And so I hope that we will not become tools in the hands of political actors who, at the end of the day, make these statements deliberately for their own political selfish interest. It's time to elevate our conversation.